It was interesting to hear you say that. My next question really is about sort of, because I imagine you need to develop a sort of different culture, it's a different approach to things within the company. But what do you do, or if anything, to try and develop such a culture and is it successful as well?
I think it's not so much as changing the culture of the company, but I think generally at a site level, and actually many people throughout the company are very interested in, for example, supporting the local community in managing their sites safely and considerately, and in managing the sites to reduce our environmental impact. But there are, from time to time, there are particular programs that we ask our sites to get involved in, and it is very much around engaging with people on site. I mean, one example of this is around collecting of environmental data from our sites. Collection of health and safety data is something that's very, very well integrated across our business because it is a business critical issue. Environmental management in terms of data collection, has been something which has been a little bit more of a challenge to get everyone engaged. So I suppose the way we've approached it is about trying to see, why are there challenges in terms of collecting the data? Try to get inside people's roles in terms of seeing, what are the challenges that they face on a day-to-day basis, and that may be very resource driven. And find different ways that, if people are struggling on site, look at developing different support tools to actually help them, highlight, best practice case studies that other people have done, other things that different people have done on other sites, and then they can start to see, maybe that's something that we can introduce on our site because we can see the benefit of that.
I imagine, though, you still get people who say, I don't want to do this. Why are we doing this?
Yeah.
How do you respond to people who sort of consistently resist your overtures to them to be more socially responsible?
I suppose in terms of environmental management, what we did this year was we rolled out a huge programme in terms of environmental management training. So that was from director level at our regional businesses right down through, site management level and the people.
And environmental management, you mean the BS, the EN 14001?
Yeah, so for each of our sites, we develop a project environmental management plan. So the training went into all the background in terms of why this is important for us. And it's not just about a certificate, but it's about improving our environmental impact. And it's about us being able to demonstrate that this is actually what we're achieving.
And did they ask anything about the directors and their involvement and their commitment as well, saying, well, we've got to do this, we've got to make this happen. What are you doing back in the office, sort of thing?
Well, all the senior management at the regional level, they all went through the environmental management system training. And again, I think that's quite essential because it's important at director level that people lower down in the business, they can see that senior management recognise that this is something that's important to our business and this is something that we need to be achieving.
I wanted just to talk a little bit more about how people maybe did things differently in the company from a communication point of view. Do you get senior managers, for instance, meeting with project managers a lot more because of the policy that you now have in CSR?
I don't think people at senior level meet any more with project site management than they have done in the past. But I think the kind of nature of some of the communications when they do meet is different. We have many different forms of communication, and if we just sent out, for example, emails to inform staff of what we were doing in terms of CSR, quite honestly, that we wouldn't have very much success on our programmes. I think there's lots of behavioural studies around safety, for example, which have been carried out, which suggests that you have to communicate with people about 20 odd times before they actually fully get the message. So I think it is important, and of course people, they receive and pick up information in different kind of ways. So some people, if they get a document, some people will take that information in much better than some other people who prefer pictures or graphics, which is why we presented our CSR wheel kind of graphically, because it's much more punchy.